Welcome to the Two Geeks and a Microphone podcast, your one-stop shop for television, movie, video games, comic books, book reviews, and more. Now, without further ado, here's Steven and Mike.
Hello there. So who talks first? You talk first? I talk first.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Two Geeks and a Microphone show. I am your co-host, Mr. Stephen Buster, along with the illustrious, the one, the only, Mr. Michael Shanks. Mike, say hey to everybody.
Good morning to all you geeks out there in Geekdom Land.
And it is a good day today. Why is it a good day? Because we are here together around the virtual coffee table to talk some geekdom. And I love it. I love it a lot.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Well, hey, Mike, how are you today? How are things for you?
Pretty good. Just got back from vacation.
I know.
Camping and nice, relaxing camping. It was nice. It was really, really nice, actually. Felt good.
So everybody today, he should be all relaxed and taking it easy, and we shouldn't get feisty at all this episode.
We'll talk about that. See about that.
Well, hey, do you want to tell everybody what our topic is today?
Well, are we going to do Geekdar first?
Yeah, I just figured we give the topic, then we go into our news, and then Geekdar. Yes.
So, we originally were going to do we were just going to talk about the SheHulk comic books a little bit, but we decided, and we were going to forego talking about episode 1 of SheHulk and wait till next week and do 1 and 2 together. But we decided, we're going to go ahead and talk about episode 1 and kind of compare it a little bit to the comic books, the original comic book, the Savage SheHulk and Sensational SheHulk.
Yes.
So that'll be our topics today.
Yay! Yeah, I'm glad we're going ahead and going to do the first episode because I couldn't wait to watch it. So I watched it on Thursday, and so I was like, "What?" Plus, we got to talk.
The guy who, I can't believe they only showed 1 episode.
Right, and that still applies, by golly. But we've got a pretty good idea of where it's going. It was a nice backstory intro, I thought. So, but we'll get into that. I'm sorry. Save it for the podcast, as Mike would normally say. So we are doing the podcast, but guys, save it for the right time in the podcast. So hey, news. Any newsworthy items for us today before we hit our Geekdar?
I really don't have anything. Of course, I haven't paid a lot of attention because I've been on the campground.
On vacation.
So I don't know what's going on this week. I have no idea what's going on.
But you did tell me something that I didn't know. So sorry, everybody. I didn't know this, but this was out a couple of weeks ago. But Andor releases when?
I think the 21st now.
21st. Okay. Because I thought it was the beginning of the month. Like we'd see it in a couple of weeks.
Originally, we had planned on it for the beginning of the month. That was on our recording schedule, actually. But they've moved it back. They've moved it back to the 21st, I think it is. And they're going to drop the first 3 episodes on that evening.
Yeah, that's right. By golly, they should drop 3 episodes at once.
Right, because our show is influencing Disney. Right.
That's right. They've heard us. They've heard me especially griping about, I'm tired of this just 1 episode drawing things out. You got to give us a good hook at the beginning. So they heard us, by golly, and by golly, they've changed it. They're adding more. I'm just teasing.
So now we have to find out if episode 1 of SheHulk was enough a hook for you.
Right. We will discuss that, by golly. Spoiler alert. Okay, so everyone, we are going to do like we normally do with any Star Wars show. We have always done those as bonus episodes. So just so you know, when it comes out, we will do a bonus episode for each one. Now, what's interesting, I think, for me when Andor comes up is going to be, this is in my viewpoint like new canon. There's not, it's pre Rogue One. So
Correct. It
it's
is.
not like we're gonna it's gonna be interesting storytelling and stuff. So we'll see. Mike seems to think that K2SO is not going to be showing up until the second season.
That's
I
the report
disagree.
here. Oh, okay. All right. So
Disagree. I think he'll be
we're
a
gonna go into
surprise.
this with boxing gloves then.
We are.
All reports I've heard, K2SO will not show up until season 2. That's all the reports I've heard.
That's if it's good enough to get to a season 2.
I'm sure it's going to be green. I'm sure it's probably already greenlit for season 2.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll get into that, everybody. Well, hey, what's on your Geekdar? You were on vacation, so you got plenty of time to, we got
to make it official.
Oh, yes, please.
Well, you don't need that, Private. We're right here. Now, what is it? Now, what is it? I'm having trouble with the radar, sir.
What's wrong with it?
I've lost the bleeps, I've lost the sweeps, and I've lost the creeps.
The what? The what? And the what?
You know, the bleeps, the sweeps, and the creeps.
That's not all he's lost.
It's so funny. We've said this last couple of times, but I got to say it again. You hear it more and more, the opening clip that you do. And each time the whole part where Michael Winslow laughs.
Yeah.
I used to never pick it up until now.
I didn't either. And I think that's because we're watching it on video, but now you're listening to it pretty intently. I think we pick it up more now that we're listening.
It makes
me watch it.
Oh, well,
to see
if it picks him up, starting to laugh. It makes me smile every time I hear it. I love it.
It's so funny.
Yeah. So, you're a Geekdar. Tell me what all did you do to satisfy that geekdom need during your vacation time?
Well, I listened. I caught up on Nerdery and Murdery for one thing, and
nice
on 3 Geeky Dads. So, I was listening to some podcasts. But before we went on vacation, we had went to Half Price Books.
Okay,
I found a book called Star Wars: Labyrinth of Evil.
It looks like General Grievous and Anakin Skywalker on the front.
This is kind of like a prequel to Revenge of the Sith.
Okay.
So they say if you read this, Revenge of the Sith, and then the one, and I just ordered the next one after Revenge of the Sith, which is Dark Lord, Rise of Darth Vader.
Ooh.
But they say the three of those, the three of them make a trilogy. So
interesting. So, and this is considered legend or whatever.
Yes, but as you can see, I picked up a used copy that does not have that silly Legends banner on it. let me restate that. I hate the Legends banners.
Right.
So I try as much as possible, if it's a Legends book, to get it without the Legends banner.
Mm-hmm. Who's the author? Did I see that right?
Yes, James Luceno.
Mm-hmm. Didn't he do?
Go ahead.
The Plagueis.
Yes, he did Darth Plagueis. He also did the prequel to Rogue One. Rogue One, the movie Rogue One. Catalyst. I can't think of the name of it right now. I have that book too.
Huh.
Yeah, he did that one also. He's done
You think-
several Star Wars books
You
actually.
you think that has any kind of bearing on Andor?
Um, I don't know.
The Catalyst one, not
Yeah,
Catalyst, a Rogue One novel.
yeah, that's it. Catalyst or Rogue One. I don't think it will because Catalyst has a lot to do with Jyn Erso, and Jyn's not going to be in
Andor.
Andor at all. So
Okay.
yeah, I don't think it'll play into it.
So as Catalyst was to the Rogue One story, but following Jyn Erso, Andor may be the catalyst for Rogue One, but following what's his name? All of a sudden I lost it.
Cassian Andor.
Yeah, Cassian Andor. Cassian Andor. Hurry. Sorry.
Yes. But Labyrinth of Evil takes place just before Revenge of the Sith. Obi-Wan and Anakin are basically they got remember the walking walking hologram thing in episode 1 that you see the Emperor, or well, you see Darth Sidious talking to the Nemadians.
Oh, right. Yeah, the hologram thing that was holding Darth Sidious,
Yes.
but it was walking. Yes.
They get that chair, or the whatever you want to call that thing. They get
Oh.
that hologram, and they're studying it, trying to get clues from it, and they're trying to get to General Grievous, basically, to stop General Grievous. So
Nice.
yeah, it's been really, really good. I'm about halfway through the book right now, approximately.
Mhm.
So far, I'm really enjoying the book, and I figure I'm gonna try and read Revenge of the Sith. I mean, I know I could just pop in the movie and watch the movie, but I have heard that Revenge of the Sith, the novel, is actually really, really good. There are some extra things in the novel that aren't in the film. So,
Oh.
right. And so just to get this full quote unquote trilogy of Labyrinth of Evil, Revenge of the Sith, and then Dark Lord, Rise of Darth Vader, I want to read Revenge of the Sith also. So that's my plan.
Cool.
Oh,
Very
and
cool.
I have one more thing on my Geekdar.
Ooh.
So-
Okay.
We got back from vacation and realized that we had not watched Better Call Saul, and because the final season of the second half of the final season of Better Call Saul dropped a few weeks ago, and we didn't even realize that it had dropped. So we're like, ooh! So we binged the rest of Better Call Saul over the last 2 days, and such a good series. I love this series. For anyone who doesn't know, Better Call Saul is connected to the Breaking Bad series, which is just a fantastic series also. But I think I like Better Call Saul even better than Breaking Bad.
It's much more better.
Much more better.
Cheers, everybody.
Yes.
Hey, Steven, is your can green?
It is green, yes. I just noticed that as we were doing it. My
Wow.
rock star punched. That's
Robert
funny. Yeah.
Stryper likes Rockstar, by the way.
Oh, does he?
Yep, the drummer of Stryper. Yeah, it's kind of appropriate since he's a rock star.
Boom.
That's his energy drink of choice. But yeah, we binged Better Call Saul. I was pretty happy with the ending. I liked the way it ended. I thought it was fitting, and it kind of tied right back to the very first episode of Better Call Saul, which was kind of cool.
Oh, okay.
I won't
don't-
give it
don't get mad at me, everybody, but I have not watched either the Better Call Saul nor what it's based on.
Breaking
The
Bad.
Breaking Bad. Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, Breaking Bad, we were hooked on that show right from the beginning, and it is a incredible show. Very, very adult content. You know, you definitely don't want kids watching these shows. The story in it is just gripping. It really is. And then when they came out with Better Call Saul, I was like, oh, I definitely want to watch this because I love Saul. He was one of my favorite characters in Breaking Bad. So to see
Okay.
that he got his own series, I was like, oh yeah, this is going to be fantastic. And it really has been super good. And we didn't realize it's been 6 years. The show's been on for 6 years, and it didn't hit me because they did a little wrap up at the end, and they had each of the cast come on and thank the audience and stuff like that. And said, yeah, for the last 6 years have been great. And I'm like, oh my gosh, 6 years! Holy cow! I didn't realize it's been that long. So, yeah,
Wow.
Better Call Saul.
Okay.
So that's
well,
my geek dart.
that's your geek dart. Well, this, I've been talking about, and I still have to get them recorded, but this whole thing that Steven watches horror movies, and so I watched 2 this week because I was intrigued by them. One was on Netflix. It was just released with Jamie Foxx called Day Shift, and
I've never heard of this.
he pretends that he's like a pool cleaner kind of a thing, but really he's a vampire hunter. And
this is Jamie Foxx. So is this a comedy?
it has some comedic elements, but it really is more of an action. It's more of an action drama film,
Interesting.
kind of a thing. And so the premise is he's a vampire hunter. There is a union for vampire hunters in this day and age because there are kind of a thing.
Almost
But
made me out my coffee.
Oh yeah. And so then with that, he has been kicked out of the union, but yet his wife or his ex-wife or wife, the relationship is kind of strained there, but he loves his daughter. You see this really cool relationship with his daughter. And so he has to raise a certain amount of money in order to keep them there because there's bills piling up for them, kind of a thing. He lives in a different place. And this is like in Los Angeles. And so he decides, well, he has a friend he saved his life, fellow vampire hunter, which is Snoop Dogg. and so then he gets him back into the union because that's the only way he can get the money he needs to
Wait a minute.
make enough money to get to his family.
Wait a minute. Snoop Dogg is in this too.
Yeah, it's really
Are you
good.
sure this isn't a comedy?
Right? There are some comedic elements. Yes, there are.
Okay, I like Jamie Foxx. I am not a big fan of Snoop Dogg. He just irks me. But now Jamie Foxx, Megan, correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't he the host of Shazam, the TV series, the game show Shazam? Isn't that Jamie Foxx?
I think so.
And that's Jamie Foxx and his daughter. So is his real daughter in the movie, or is that?
I have no idea. I could not tell you, to be honest.
I'm just curious because I think it's Jamie Foxx that hosts Shazam, and
Yes.
and he hosts it with his daughter.
Yes.
So that'd be kind of cool if he and his daughter are both the stars of this
I'm
movie.
doing this. Yeah. So it's good. It's fun. If you like vampire movies, it's a fun movie.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing. It's also there's another actor in it who's pretty well known. I see his brother. His brother played in Spider-Man, the original trilogy, as Osborn. I can't even think of the names now. Holy cow. Let's see. Day Shift. Dave Franco is
James Franco.
James Franco is Spider-Man, but his brother Dave Franco is in it as well. Who's one of the union guys that has to keep a hold of him, kind of thing. I don't want to spoil anything else, but if you have Netflix, it's worth a watch if you like horror movies, or if you like, it's not horror, but it's action horror, I guess.
Right.
There are some comedic elements to it. It's fun to see what they do with some of the action. It's a little creepy in some parts, kind of a thing, and creating this whole world, this whole the world building is great. That vampires walk among us and sort of, kind of thing. They're still not supposed to be in the daylight, but there are some that can. And so it's kind of like why, it's some block 5,000 or something like that. But that's not the premise of the story. So those are just little tidbits of the world building and all. But it ends up he's hunting. You get money for vampire teeth. So when you kill them, you pull their teeth and you get money for the teeth. Kind of a thing. And the teeth have a lore of their own. Like they can look at the teeth under a microscope and tell you how old they are, what kind of vampire they are. There's different types of vampires. The lore is
that's new.
They put some thought into it. It was really interesting. It really was.
Wow, Three Geeky Dads just did an episode on both Fright Night and Lost Boys, kind of comparing to two films and which one they like better, and so on and so forth. But one of their things was, what is your favorite vampire trope? And so that's a new trope that I've never heard before.
It's what I liked about it. I was like, how interesting, kind of a thing. Yeah.
Neat.
Yeah.
Did they stick with the classic? You got to stab a vampire in the heart with a stake. Wooden stake.
That's part of it, but they really kept it where you had to cut their head off, kind of a thing.
Oh, they went with the Highlander thing instead of the vampire.
They went with a Highlander thing to a certain degree. That some they were able to kill, kind of a thing. But if you want to make sure they stay dead, you got to cut their head off, because some of them are a bunch of them are regenerative, so their health regenerates, kind of like Wolverine. You know how quickly it regenerates,
right?
And one thing they introduce is with some, if you cut their head off, they're still regenerating. And so if they get their head back on, it'll regenerate back on. That was a twist that they put in there.
Weird.
It was interesting. It was interesting.
Cut the head off, with the exception of Deadpool, of course.
Right. So that's why I said it's almost, Wolverine, Deadpool, kind of a thing. So It was good. It was worth watching. It's about 2 hours, kind of a thing. So it was good. So that was my number one. Then, I'm watching YouTube clips on different things, and I saw in my feed clips of The Hunt. So the Fear channel pops up on my feed because I've been trying to what are some good horror movies for me to watch for doing this extra podcast and all that. So for our listeners, and so The Hunt came up, and I'm like, ooh, it looks like this whole premise of kind of what was based on a book called The Most Dangerous Game that I read in high school about these people who are hunting people. And sure enough, it was, but it's got some comedy elements in it too. But this whole thing of there's this elite, all these rich people that are hunting all these, what they deemed would be like just the bottom of the social barrel, kind of a thing. We're better than them, kind of a thing.
Right.
But they all get their comeuppance. I love it. I love seeing people get their comeuppance.
Get rid of the dregs of society type of thing.
Yeah, kind of, sort of. And then there actually is a whole story of why they did it, and kind of a neat little twist at the end with it too. But it was the main heroine. She's pretty sarcastic, and she's quirky, kind of a thing. And so she does these funny facial expressions at times in there. And it was fun. I enjoyed it. But it's like 2016. So it's been around for at least 5-6 years, kind of a thing. So those are, just so everybody knows, I'm trying to get my stuff together, getting some movies watched to release several episodes at once of Stephen Watches horror movies. And I have to admit, Mike did a great job on our logo for that.
Oh, thanks.
That so it looks good. So I'll have to put that up and show everybody.
Megan's actually wearing the t-shirt today. I can't wear it because I'm over on the green screen, and
and it's green. That's funny. That's right. Because you were last week.
Yeah, I tried to wear it last week, and then I came on, and it just looked like a floating head. It was pretty funny. So that's
it. I don't want to take up more time.
Wait, Megan's got something.
Oh yeah, go ahead, Megan. I want to hear it.
Also for the shirt.
Look at the creepy hand. I love it. So everybody watching the video can see. That's cool. Thank you for sharing that.
I haven't had a book that I've been absolutely obsessed with in a while.
Ooh,
But-
tell me.
Me being a huge Nightmare Before Christmas fan.
Tim Burton.
Yes, I found out through TikTok that there is a sequel book. It's not written by Tim Burton, but it was approved by Disney and Tim Burton, and both had some kind of tie to it.
Oh,
Mhm.
it's not through Disney?
Well, I mean, it's through Disney. Disney backed it.
Oh, okay.
It's got Disney's
Oh, okay. All right.
Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas above it. It is
Okay.
the official sequel book.
Okay.
It is by Shay Earnshaw, and it's called Long Live the Pumpkin Queen. And it's Sally gets an adventure, and it's amazing. And I bought it on Thursday and read it early yesterday.
Wow.
Whoa. So it really had you hooked.
It's about 20 chapters, a little over maybe 300 page. It's definitely over 250. It may have been 300. I didn't pay attention to the numbers. But it's 20 chapters, 21 if you count the epilogue as a chapter. But it is fantastic. I love it, and it's very. The author does a very good job of writing the characters from as their personalities in the movies or in the movie, and it's I don't want to spoil anything, but it's
So
I can't even talk.
So how many Pumpkin Kings would you give it?
Ooh, nice.
10 out of 10.
Nice. Okay.
I will definitely read that many times over.
That's cool.
And
Well,
it's got a good surprise in it too, which I really enjoyed.
Nice.
Long live the Pumpkin Queen. Yeah, it said it just came out August 2nd. So it's only been out for 2 weeks, maybe 3.
I guess I should have said Pumpkin Queens, not Pumpkin Kings, huh?
It's still 10 out of 10.
I know. All right. Cool. Well, good. I'm glad you liked it. All right. So
Thanks, Megan. That's awesome.
moving over to our main event.
Dun, 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 dun. And the main event.
Careful. I was told he hunts out people and sues them.
We're not making any money off of it.
Yeah, well, I was actually thinking about getting a soundbite of him, doing it. And then when I heard that, I was like, yeah, we don't have the money to get sued by him. So
Right. We'll just remove it.
it's not worth it.
Right. I don't think you're losing any revenue off of us.
That's true. That's true.
Oh gosh, that's funny. All right, everybody, we are talking She-Hulk. As you know, we've done a couple episodes kind of road to She-Hulk and World War Hulk, and I've heard some people say that there are some indications of World War Hulk, some nods and stuff, but I don't know what those are yet. So
the only thing so far, the only connection I'm really getting is that ship. So I mean, we'll get into that a little bit, but there was a ship that basically causes the car accident, which causes everything to happen. We really don't know. They really don't tell what the ship is or where it comes from or why it's even there. You really get no clue of it, and
right.
it looks a lot like the what is it, the Jeff Goldblum's character. It looks like one of his ships from the Sakaar, the planet Sakaar, which actually is where World War Hulk happens, or Planet Hulk happens, is on planet Sakaar. So so far that's the only connection I'm really seeing. I not to say that, you know, I would love to see Planet Hulk and World War Hulk happen. I mean, we already covered World War Hulk, and I enjoyed the story and everything. So I would love to see a live action. I don't know. So far, I'm not seeing the connection yet. So
Yeah, I haven't seen it either, kind of a thing. So, not that I was really looking for it. I was just enjoying the story as
Sure,
it was. So, if we were to give a rating, let's give our ratings,
Oh,
and then we'll get into details and stuff.
I got a rating scale.
Ooh, okay, what you got?
Flaming hot Cheetos.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, flaming hot Cheetos eating with chopsticks.
And there's a story behind that too, by the way.
Oh gosh, that's great. Okay, so how many would you give? How many bags of flaming hot Cheetos would you give?
I enjoyed the episode. I thought it was good. And I like her as She-Hulk. I think she's doing a good job so far. I'm not the biggest fan of Professor Hulk, the way he's being portrayed right now, but he was okay. You know, it wasn't bad for what the episode is. So with all that being said, I think I would give it a 7 bags of flaming hot Cheetos.
All right, 7 bags out of 10 flaming hot Cheetos.
Flaming hot Cheetos are amazing, by the way. I would give flaming hot Cheetos 10 out of 10.
Woohoo! I love it. That's awesome. Okay, so I would tell you that I thought it was a good first episode. As always, I want more. You know, I always want more, kind of a thing. So I will say that I always want more. But I'll give it a good solid 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 bags of flaming hot Cheetos. I went in with the attitude of, okay, yes, this is a Marvel thing, but just take it as it is, take it as its own thing, and see what you like. There are things I did like about it. There are things I didn't like about it. But you know, that's my opinion and stuff. So that's my score.
Awesome. Okay. Well, I thought we would start with taking a look at the Marvel Encyclopedia and reading a little bit about She-Hulk in the Marvel Encyclopedia. So She-Hulk's real name is Jennifer Walters, which we find out in the episode also.
Okay. All right.
Is a lawyer. Her base of operations is the law offices of Goodman, Lieber, Kutzberg, and Holloway, which I believe that was consistent in the episode too. Her height is 6'7". She weighs 650 pounds. Her eyes are green. Her hair is green. Brown as Jennifer Walters. Yeah, I guess it would be brown in this too. I think it was brown.
It's kind of like my hair. It's that really dark brown, almost black.
Yeah, something like that. And her first appearance was Savage She-Hulk #1, February of 1980. So, She-Hulk, legal eagle and green-skinned crime fighter. I love that.
Green screen. I love it. Not green skinned. I know.
The cousin of Bruce Banner, who would one day become the Hulk, Jennifer Walters pursued her dream of becoming a successful lawyer, shot by criminals whose boss she was prosecuting. Jennifer received a life-saving blood transfusion from her cousin Bruce, but this infusion of gamma irradiated blood had an effect on Jennifer's physiology, similar to that experienced by Bruce himself. The repressed part of her personality began to manifest itself as a green-skinned powerhouse known as the Savage She-Hulk. So that's the basic, basic intro to She-Hulk.
So here, we
basically
probably should talk
to the comic She-Hulk, I should say.
Yeah, so the origin stories, they were similar, but they were different, if that makes sense.
Yeah, right.
So in the comics, what was it that occurred in the comics?
So in the comics, like it said, she was trying these criminals, gangsters
Mhm.
basically, and they hunted her down. And her and Bruce were together in a car, and they
Right.
hunted her down and they shot her. Well, Bruce immediately got her to wherever he could, and he gave her a blood transfusion from himself, uh,
Mhm.
which in turn infected her with the gamma radiated blood, which gave
Mhm.
her the She-Hulk abilities at that point. So
Mhm.
the She-Hulk. So I mean, it's similar but different.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I really liked was about the origin was it really did a good job of connecting. All of a sudden, we're introducing this new character, but they're connected. Bruce Banner and his cousin, and
Right.
how they're you're like my brother, you're like my sister, kind of a thing. So they really try to set up this relationship and to give
And
it more.
in the comic, they kind of do that too, because
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Is the comic.
okay, oh yeah, because Bruce goes to her as a confidant. He's been the Hulk for a while, and
Mm-hmm.
he comes to her. Granted, the She-Hulk comic was in 1980, like it said, February of 1980. I think Hulk was actually introduced like in the 60s. But they kind of make it look like the time period hasn't been too long. But she knows who the Hulk is through news media, but she has no idea it's Bruce. And then he reveals to her as a confidant
Mm-hmm.
that he is the Hulk.
Everybody's after me.
Right. Well, everybody is, 'cause
Yeah.
he's a monster, so the
Yeah.
military's after him and so on and so forth. But yeah, I liked the first issue of Savage She-Hulk. I thought it was pretty decent, not
Mm-hmm.
a bad comic at all. I liked the way they portrayed her in the comic. Yeah, the origin's a little silly, I guess. It just seems kind of weird.
I took it as they were trying to hurry up and get a comic book out.
Yeah.
Here's what I heard about the unsubstantiated rumor.
Okay.
So Bill Bixby, the TV show, The Incredible Hulk, was
Right.
doing well for CBS, I think is who had it. And so they were in discussions about, hey, this is going really good. What if we did a female version TV show?
Oh, I didn't know they were considering that.
And so when Marvel got wind of it, they went to Stan Lee and also to the other guy who did the artwork. I can't remember his name all of a sudden. On that first episode. So to
Jack Kirby?
No, it wasn't Jack Kirby. I can't remember his name. But so they went to him saying,
Well,
hey, could you
probably by
create
1980, Stan Lee and Jack Kirby were on the outs, most likely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
You're getting close to Teen Titans there, and Jack Kirby at one point joins DC, and he creates the New Gods, which also ties into Teen Titans a bit. And
Gotcha.
because he is ticked at Marvel and Stan Lee particularly. Anyway,
Okay.
sorry.
So anyway, so they said let's hurry up so we don't lose the rights to that kind of a character.
Oh wow.
Kind of thing, that we can establish the rights now. And they knew Marvel could put out a comic book much more quicker than CBS can make a TV show. So that's the unsubstantiated rumor of how it got started.
Interesting. I didn't know that. That's cool history there. Wow.
Yeah. So thank you, Variant Comics. Variant YouTube channel, excuse me, with Eris Cojones.
He's awesome.
He's great. Yeah. Hey, if you haven't watched his stuff, please do, because he puts out some quality stuff.
And
His
that guy's
sister's
got some comic book knowledge too. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Not worthy.
No,
not worthy.
We're not worthy. Yeah. Definitely.
Oh, so That's what I heard. So they're trying to hurry up and
Dude,
get a
you shouldn't have
connection.
told me that you heard it from Eris, because I would have been just in awe of your knowledge there. I was like, wow, Steven, you did your homework this week.
I did some. Sort of.
Yeah, you didn't read the comics.
No, I didn't, everybody. I was busy watching horror movies, it sounds like.
That's okay. Anyway,
Uh,
I did very-
so, and no, I got to give credit where credit's due. So I love that show. I love his show, his YouTube channel. So I would say I liked how the comic books brought out the relationship between the two as cousins.
I did too.
But the comic did a full blood
Transfusion.
I couldn't get out trans for some reason. Transfusion. So I think what was interesting is that the TV show made it seem like it was just a couple of drops of blood.
Yeah, well, I'd say a little bit more than a couple drops, but yeah, I get what you're saying. It's not like a full.
It wasn't like a full blood transfusion.
Yeah, it was almost like a vampire thing.
Right?
Yeah. I was like, wow, when did Hulk and She-Hulk become vampires?
Right?
You know, this is, yeah, I thought that
Yeah.
was weird. I don't know. It was okay. I didn't have a, I wasn't going to have a conniption fit over the fact that it didn't match the comic book.
Mhm.
I guess it was quicker this way,
Mhm.
doing it the way they did in the comic books.
Yeah, let's just get it going. Don't draw it out. Yes.
Right,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. I'm
So-
glad we didn't have to wait till the end of the episode to see her as She-Hulk.
That's true. That's true. They got to her being She-Hulk very quick. I mean, it was almost instantaneous. And we got a nice transformation of both of them, which I liked. We really have not seen a transformation of the Hulk like that probably since the movie,
With Ed Norton.
with Ed Norton, right?
Mhm.
And I liked it. I liked the look of it. I think that was better, much more better
Cheers.
than the way they have been handling this transformation. In fact, it was very 70s, 80s Bill Bixby, Lou Ferrigno Hulkish is
Mhm.
the way it looked to me, because you got his eyes change and his face contorts and she does the same. But I love the way they did her, because they also did this in the Hulk TV series. You didn't really see her change. You saw her reflection in the car, and then
That first time.
right. And I thought that was cool, because it kind of gives a little mystery of whoa, what does she look like? I mean, we all know
Yeah.
what she looks
We
like.
all know. We saw the trailers, but
Right.
yes.
But I like the way it was done. It was executed really nice, and it was a nice callback to the original TV series. So yeah, I enjoyed that. That was cool. That was very cool.
Yeah. I liked it how the next thing you see is she doesn't know where she's at, and she walks across this bar on the side of the road, country bar, wherever she's at.
Yes.
We don't, and then she walks in there and she's walking in the bathroom, and you see she's just all, out of sorts. And I love it how the three women come in and say, "Girl, we need to fix you up. That man is not worth it," kind of a thing. I loved it.
Well, and in the bar scene, there's actually a QR code. Like in several of the Moon Knight episodes, there were QR codes that if you scan them with your phone, you can get a free digital copy of Savage She-Hulk #1.
Which that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Does it add it to your Marvel account, or do you just get a?
I think I guess it'll add it to your Marvel or your Comixology. I'm not sure. I don't remember. I did it with the Moon Knight one, but I don't remember what it added it to, which it added it to. So
Yeah, that's kind of an interesting new thing they're doing.
yeah,
I need to scan those QR codes, by golly. All right, so next is
we got
the
access to them in Marvel Unlimited too. So
well, yeah, that's true too. That is true too. So hey, a couple of things is we're talking about how she changes and stuff, and I love it how she's sitting outside the bar waiting for her ride, kind of a thing. And then here comes these guys. They're like, "Hey, baby, I'm just being nice," kind of a thing. And then and then you see her
Hulk out.
Yeah, I love it. Just for a moment, then all of a sudden you see something hit her from the side. Now, you think that was Bruce Banner as Hulk? I say it had to be.
Probably.
I say it had to be.
Probably
Him and the Hulk. That's the only way anybody probably could knock her over if it was.
Yeah, I can't see anyone else there who has the strength to knock her over. The
Right.
Hulk does, obviously. So
I didn't rewatch it and try to freeze frame it to see it. I think it was just done for the comedic element. You see her, and all of a sudden she gets knocked over.
right. Yeah. Yeah, it
You
has.
know?
It's got to be.
Yeah. Yeah. Because then they wake up where in Mexico or something,
Right.
or wherever the island is, or whatever it is. Where
Yeah, they're
at.
in Mexico. She's wearing the I Love Mexico t-shirt, and it's a little bar that both Bruce and Tony had created. They built, and kind of their little secret science lab underneath and all that stuff. It's
Yeah.
it's the Science Bros lab.
The Science Bros. Yep. And I love they had their little tiki bar with their initials in the.
Yeah, with their initials carved into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she carves her initials into it also.
Yeah. I thought that was cool. Is that after they rebuilt it?
Yeah. Well, it makes sense. She helped rebuild it. So, yeah, she should get to put her initials
on it. Right.
Of course, she destroyed it too. So,
Right. So I have to say, I think one of my favorite parts of the whole first episode really is that fight between the two.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's probably the best part of the whole thing is their fight and getting to see the Hulk thunderclap.
Yes.
Clap. And then with her.
Thundercrap? Did you say thundercrap?
Well, Bruce was eating beans before, so. And then you get to see her version of the thunderclap, but hers is more sonic. Where
Yeah, so help me understand that. So his is just a big sonic boom kind of a thing, right?
Yeah, and hers is like multiple claps, and it's just this sonic blast.
Now, does that take us back to the Incredible Hulk, the one with Ed Norton, when he brought out that big machine to try to stop the Hulk, and it was that sonic blast machine?
That's a good question. I think you're right. I think that is a callback to the Ed Norton Hulk. Yeah, interesting. I didn't even think about that, but yeah, you're probably right. But I think they're just highlighting the fact that her abilities are not exactly the same as his. They have,
good call. Right.
They have some of the same abilities, but not all of them. There's some that are different. I was glad to see that they are still sticking with the fact that the Hulk is still much stronger than She-Hulk, because he should be, because he's supposed to be, like he said, he's the strongest Avenger,
Right. Right.
And I think he was really holding back during a lot of this battle between the two of them, which is, because it highlighted her strength, which I think they needed to do, because you got to see her power. But yet at the same time, it showed him reserving his, like, hey, look, at any moment I could pummel you if I needed to.
Right.
You probably stronger than anybody else we know, but you're still not stronger than the Hulk.
Yeah. Yeah, I did like that element of it. It did. I think it was the whole aspect of him helping her show restraint. And I thought it was pretty funny how she was like, I've been holding restraint all my life. I'm an attorney, kind of a thing. I was like, that's funny. And I did like the phrase where he's in there and he wants her to Hulk out, to test her thing that first time with the blades are coming or something. And he makes some comment, it's really stress and fear or stress and something. He's like, I'm a woman. We constantly live with those things. I thought that's pretty funny. I like that joke.
Okay. Moving right along. No, it was fine. I liked when when he does the air horn and wakes her up.
yeah.
That was hilarious. Was the
Yeah.
air horn necessary? Well, for comedic reasons, yes.
Right.
I enjoyed that. And she busts the bed when she hulks out.
Right.
But I get a kick out of how he has a manual.
Right. All the stuff that, and he's like trying to help her is like, we just shaved 10 years off because she was still her in the She-Hulk form.
Okay, yeah. So she seems to be able to change at will. She can change into the She-Hulk or she can change back into Jennifer.
Yeah.
At will, which the Hulk really can't do that. Not at will like that. So he's pretty amazed by that. But
and jealous, right? Didn't he say he was jealous too?
yeah. Well, like you said, I spent 2 years in the Hulk form, which actually I prefer him in the Hulk form anyway. in the true Hulk form, not the Bruce
Right.
Banner Hulk form. But anyway, yeah, I think that we are going to see some moments where she's going to rage and she's not going to be able to control it, because I think that's the whole point of being a Hulk. You
Good call. Yeah, good call.
So she's going to have moments that she can control it, but I think we will see a couple moments in this series where she is going to get ticked and just rage and Hulk out, and we are going to see full-on savage She-Hulk, which is what I want. I want full-on savage She-Hulk. I want to see her just rampage and destroy. There's no point in Hulk if you don't do that.
Unless this really is an attorney show. Remember how she does that whole thing?
Yeah,
the fourth wall breaking, which we probably should talk about fourth wall.
Oh, yeah,
and I do want to talk about the end credit scene too. So yeah, go ahead.
So yeah, fourth wall breaking. I think I've brought this up before, but in the, I think, Sensational She-Hulk line, and then some of the ones after the Sensational She-Hulk, she was breaking the fourth wall. She was doing it before Deadpool was ever created.
Yeah.
And it would be interesting if Deadpool somewhere crosses paths with She-Hulk. And I think it would be hilarious if the two of them broke the fourth wall together.
That would be great.
Love to see that happen.
Yeah.
I think that would be hilarious. And we got some moments of her breaking the fourth wall in this. When it opens, you think she's breaking the fourth wall, but she's not. She's actually talking to other people in the room who happen to be behind the camera, from our perspective anyway, from a viewer's perspective anyway. So, but when it comes on, you think, oh, she's breaking the fourth wall. They're just going to kick off the series like that. But no, she's actually talking to someone. But there's that point where her and Hulk are training, and she turns and looks at us, and she says something, and then the Hulk turns and looks, and then she looks back like,
sorry, or something.
Yeah, I don't.
And she goes, he doesn't mean that.
Right. Yeah.
So, but she was doing that in the comic books years ago, and it was something that she was known for, and it was kind of unique to her character at that time.
Yeah, I heard there was one comic where she was making fun of the writers, breaking the fourth wall and making fun of the writers.
Oh, she did that all the time. She did that. There were times where they show her ripping through panels and sticking her head out through a rip panel and all this stuff. And yeah, there's a lot of fun scenes in the She-Hulk comic books. I would highly recommend going back and looking at some of them. It's fun. There's one comic that they have her jumping rope nude. Of course, they don't show
anything. Right.
It's a pretty funny opening to the comic book.
Gotcha. So let me ask you this. So what did you think? I've been dying to ask you this about the whole end credit scene.
So the end credit scene is actually a fan theory that had been roaming around, and Marvel decided, oh, let's play with this. And I mean,
Right.
it was what it was. Yeah, I think it's funny that some fan gets their theory put into dressed in canon. You know,
Right.
it was fine. It was fine. It was nothing substantial, you know, in my opinion.
No, what I really liked about it was the callback to in game. So the whole aspect of where if you haven't seen it, everybody, well, we're doing spoilers anyway. I mean, this is a whole spoiler show kind of a thing. So spoiler, big fat spoiler. But they were talking about, you know, she couldn't believe that Captain America was a virgin, blah, 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 and all that. And what the callback was that I thought was funny was because that's America's ass, you know, kind of a thing. And I thought, that's a great callback. I love it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, at all. So I enjoyed that. And then I thought it was funny how all of a sudden she says they do an F-bomb and they cut it off. That's how, you know, they cut it off right in the middle of it, kind of a thing. And I thought, now I have not heard them do that except for the Deadpool movie. You know what I mean? That was actually rated R.
What, Megan?
Spider-Man.
His face. Yeah, Samuel L. Jackson with the with when he gets dusted, actually.
Oh, you're right. Sam did. But now that was movie though.
That was movie, not TV show. Right. And
but
I know
well, yes.
Yeah, but at the end of Spider-Man, we see her go.
That was funny.
Yeah.
All these years of having Sam Jackson in Marvel, and we'd never gotten it. You know, I mean, every Sam Jackson, well, with the exception of Star Wars, of course.
Right.
Until we get Crazy Mace, of course. I'm sure Crazy Mace is going to say something like that.
I want my mother purple lightsaber.
Right. You know, he has a children's book for getting your kid to go to sleep. It's called F to Sleep. That's pretty much all the book too.
That's funny. Well, I do know in the movies at the end credit scene for Spider-Man, Aunt May says it, you know, when she finds out he's Spider-Man, she's like, what the, you know, they do that then. But I thought it was a surprise for a Disney Plus show to do it, if that makes sense. Of course, they already released Deadpool, and they've even put you know, I remember when they made that change, when they added the Deadpool movies and the Netflix Daredevil and all those, it was now a new disclaimer on it. Hey, I'm 18 or above, or something like. They did something to do that, and
yeah, some people were up in arms that Disney allowed those on the channel, on the streaming channel. My thing is, you know what's in it, just don't watch it. You know,
well, you can set up kids accounts,
right?
Though
exactly.
I mean, so just set up a kids account, just like you do for everything else.
Yeah, you set up all the parental stuff, and you don't allow them to watch it. It's I don't know. I don't think it's that big a deal. Yeah, and they own the content. What are they going to do? Are they going to make up a new channel to put it on?
Right.
You know, they're not going to do that. There's no point in that.
Right.
You already have the established channel. You're going to put it on there.
Right.
So,
well, I think the biggest thing with a lot of these channels is content. Having the content to keep people coming back or keep adding to it.
Well, so, and plus Daredevil's coming. Daredevil's coming in She-Hulk. He's going to make an appearance in She-Hulk.
Oh, that's right.
So they want to have the back story on Daredevil and stuff, because I think that's all staying canon. I think. I don't think they're getting rid of those stories and such.
Yeah, that makes sense. The whole thing about Daredevil, at first I was like, well, why are they bringing Daredevil in?
Because he's a lawyer. And he's a really
lawyer.
Good lawyer.
Right?
I love that scene. That scene is great.
Yeah.
How'd you do that? I'm a really good lawyer.
Right.
Like that has anything to do with a blind guy catching a brick going through the window.
Right.
But it's such a funny scene. Yeah, that's exactly the reason they're together is because they're both lawyers, and at some point they're going to oppose each other in the court is what's going to happen. And
Mhm.
I think they've done that in the comic books too. I think that they've met in court in the comic books also. So
Yeah,
I mean, it makes
interesting.
sense. It's a great way to tie in his character and bring it into the current Marvel Disney lineup. You know, so
Yes, yes.
I don't know how they'd bring Punisher in.
Right. Are they bringing him back? Have we heard?
Well, his show has been brought over to Disney. I know that,
Mhm.
but I
Mhm.
don't know. I don't know if he's officially coming back to the Marvel. I hope he is. He's
Mhm.
such an awesome Punisher. I love him.
Yeah.
He is so cool.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm interested to see. But anyway, so I'm interested to see Matt Murdock in the show.
Oh yeah, yeah. Matt's gonna be fantastic. I can't wait till he shows up. And we're getting the yellow helmet too.
Yeah, what's the story behind that?
So the yellow costume was Daredevil's first costume in the Marvel comic books. And actually when Spider-Man freshman year comes out, Daredevil's going to be a part of that, and he's going to be wearing the yellow costume in that also. So and I think him doing it, I think them putting it on him in the cartoon series and the animated series is just supposed to be the early version of Daredevil. I don't really know the point of putting the yellow on him in the She-Hulk series because that's current timeline. So I don't know. Well, actually,
Mhm. Mhm.
it's called merchandising.
Well played. Well played.
Baseball's the T-shirt. Baseball's the cereal.
Lunchbox. The
Baseball's
cereal.
the lunchbox.
Yeah. Yeah.
Spaceballs the flamethrower. The kids love this one.
Right.
Anyway,
We really should do a whole episode on Spaceballs.
I love
Classic sci-fi. Can we count that? Does that count as classic sci-fi?
I don't know. We make the rules, so
That's right, by golly.
we do have to pick another. We do have to pick a one for next month. So,
Well, we've got a whole list, but yeah, we do have to pick it. That's true.
I'm not opposed to going over Spaceballs at one point, whether it be on the main show or that one.
Or Galaxy.
Right.
Oh yeah, Galaxy Quest is another good one.
Oh yeah, the documentary's really good too on Amazon.
I still got to watch that. I haven't watched it yet.
No Retreat, No Surrender. I
Nice.
think that's what it was called.
Cool. All right,
yeah,
we're squirreling.
We are squirreling, everybody. Sorry about that. We're just telling, we're just coffee tabling it, having a great time. So, hey, anything else you want to add about She-Hulk? It was kind of a short episode, I thought, for a first episode.
Yeah, it ended pretty abruptly, and I was like, "Oh!" But I know these Disney, like we went through that with a lot of the Star Wars stuff. Mandalorian, some of the episodes were super short, but if you're getting good content, it's not a bad thing. It's just it was a little abrupt, and I was like, "Oh!" I wasn't expecting it to end so quickly. But overall, I thought the episode was good. If you're into Hulk, and especially if you're into the current Hulk, definitely check this out. You get a lot of Mark Ruffalo Hulk. I always have a problem with his last name. And
me too. I struggle with his name too.
I liked him. I could have done without the what do you call it? The yoga. I could do without the yoga stuff.
Oh, right. How he's making it scientific, and there's a scientific name for it. No, and I was like, whatever. I mean, I get it. They're trying to teach some type of control technique.
I know,
we see some of that in the Ed Norton movie.
Hulk to me. It didn't feel Hulk to me.
Right.
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 That's probably my biggest complaint. But
Namaste. Namaste, Mike.
but yeah, and if you've got access, get the digital Savage She-Hulk and read issue 1 of Savage She-Hulk. I think it's worth a read.
Now, technically, could they go ahead and do that with the QR code?
Yeah, you can do that with the QR code, or if you've got Marvel Unlimited, go on, Marvel Unlimited and bring it up. Good luck finding it on the website.
I got to use the app.
Use the app. It's easier to find the comic books. The website sucks. Marvel, if you're listening, fix your freaking website. I hate it.
I wonder if they're wanting you to use the app for it.
Well, if they give me the app on my laptops, I'd be glad to use it. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
I like the app on my phone, but I don't want to read it on my phone. My phone's too small. I want to read it on either my MacBook, my computer, or on my other PC laptop. One of those two is where I want to read it because it's nice and big. It looks more like a comic book, where the phone is tiny and it's harder to read. Sometimes I got to in on stuff. My eyes are getting.
We're getting older, my friend.
Get off my lawn, damn it. Sorry.
Well, I think it was a nice start. I don't think it was a tremendous start, but I think it was a good start to the series. It really did set it up. It gave you a really quick origin. It gave you how she was learning how to deal with it, and then kicks you back into how she said at the end, lawyer show.
She was pretty funny. I liked her. I enjoyed her. I think she's going to be fine as She-Hulk. Like I said, my biggest complaints was one, the ship was just there to kick off her origin, basically. But we had no reason behind the ship being there. We don't know where it came from. We don't know why it was there. So I got kind of an issue with that because it just didn't really make a lot of sense. And then
we didn't get anything else off of that. You're right. You're right. We didn't get anything else off of that.
Right. Yeah. I was like, okay, why?
I think all they said later was they were. Hang on a second. Sorry. Hopefully you don't hear all that craziness in the background.
Going on over there?
Yeah, there's a sleepover going on. Sorry, everybody.
Oh, gotcha.
And all. So the whole aspect of he did state somewhere. He said, how did he put it? He said, "Hey, we'll get back to that later." Bruce Banner Hulk or Professor Hulk said, "We'll get back to that later."
Yeah, it's just that wasn't good enough. I'm sorry. That's an issue I had. The other issue I had is when what's her face. See, I don't even know her name because you didn't really get her name in the episode. I heard her name on Emergency Awesome when I watched Emergency Awesome back later, but I had no idea who she was. But the woman that breaks into the courtroom when Jennifer does Hulk out and she battles the other woman in the courtroom, I had no idea who she was. I didn't know why she was there. It was like, okay, that was kind of pointless too. So those are my two issues about the episode.
I hear you. So, are you looking forward to next week's?
Yeah.
Me too. It got me hooked enough that I want to see the next one for sure.
Sure.
For example, I watched the first episode of Sandman.
Oh, I didn't watch that yet.
Is that good?
No.
Really?
I didn't. It again, I think the reason I'm bringing it up is I think She-Hulk did a better job of setting up the story than what Sandman does.
Oh, see,
you have to know if you are a Sandman fan and at least you know some of the mythos behind it, you'll be like, oh, okay. And they do set up some of it, but it's just weird. I get, or not weird. It is its own genre. It is Neil Gaiman kind of a thing.
I honestly know nothing of the Sandman character. I know he's super popular, but I know nothing of him at all. I know nothing.
Right. We've got all these sound bats we've said today that we probably should start recording and loading up. I know nothing. So I will say this. The first episode of Sandman, and it was an hour long, did not propel me to feel like I really wanted to watch the next episode.
Really? Okay. Sounds like we're not covering Sandman.
You should watch the first episode,
I
and
plan
see
on
what you think, because it is based on the comic, and
Sure.
it is the Constantine universe.
Is Constantine going to show up in it?
Yeah. Now here's the thing. I'm squirreling everybody. I'm sorry.
Oh, Constantine has a new animated movie out, by the way.
Oh, I want to see that. So they say Constantine, but in Sandman they say Constantine.
Really?
Is what I read. Now we haven't met the Constantine individual in the show because it's female in the show.
Oh, it's female. Interesting. I didn't know there was a female version of that character.
There's not. There is for the show. There is, but I don't think it was female in the comics.
I don't know if I'm gonna like that then.
If it was Matt Ryan, I would watch
Matt
it.
Ryan, man. I want Matt Ryan to show up.
Right.
I want him to show up in everything.
Yeah, maybe we should. Maybe because we like the movies. Maybe I should finish watching Sandman so we could do a comparison of Constantine or something. But anyway, my point being is
watched the Constantine movie with
Keanu Reeves.
I've never watched it.
Oh, watch party. Yeah, I've seen it. So here's what I'll say about it is the only reason I bring up Sandman is because where the second one, I don't really feel the urge to watch the second one, but I do want to watch the next She-Hulk.
Oh yeah, definitely. But yeah, I can't say that about Sandman. I haven't watched it yet. I've been wanting to watch it, but then we were on vacation and I actually forgot about it till you just brought it up. So that's funny. I know I heard from a coworker that they really liked it. They thought it was super good. So I was like, "Oh, cool. We might cover that on the show then." But then you just said that.
If you guys decide you watch the first episode, let me know, and then we'll make a decision. Yeah. Everybody, if you're listening to this, comment on our Facebook page if I should finish watching Sandman or if we should do an episode on it.
Well, it doesn't hurt to have something that we're not fond of. I mean, I like to keep the show as positive as we can, but it doesn't hurt to have bad reviews from time to time. I didn't like Dune. I didn't like Dune at all.
You've also
That's true.
Wanting to review Monsters.
Yes.
Monsters. Oh, that's the Rob Zombie one.
Yeah. I sent you a message this week and you ignored me.
I was probably busy and I forgot to get back to you. I'm so sorry. Yes. That was when you sent me the trailer and you're like,
this looks like a train wreck. We should talk about it on the show.
Right.
We might have fun with this.
What's the Three Geeky Dads podcast? Drink till it's good.
Yes, I think that could be number one for us. Drink till it's good. And I love the Monsters. I love the original Monsters, and I'm a fan of Rob Zombie. Don't get me wrong. I like Rob Zombie's music. I did like his version of Halloween. I'm not a big fan of House of a Thousand Corpses, and he did another movie too that another original Rob Zombie movie. I don't remember what it was, but I know they got a big horror following. But yeah, and I thought, okay, Rob Zombie's gonna handle Monsters. He's a big fan of the Monsters. He has a song called Dragula, which is one of my favorite Rob Zombie songs. Come on. And Dragula is the dragster from the Monsters.
Yeah.
So I thought if anyone can give the Monsters some love, it's got to be Rob Zombie, right? And then I watched this trailer and I went, "Oh my God, this is like a train wreck." So I kind of think we got to cover it.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
I think it'll be funny.
Right on. All right, everybody. Well, hey, thanks for joining us as we squirreled some, but again, it's a virtual coffee table. We like talking about stuff, all things geekdom. So welcome. Be sure to check us out on our Facebook page. That is www.twogeeksmike.com, twogeeksmike.com. If you want to support us, which we'd greatly appreciate, you can, from twogeeksmike.com, you can get to our Ko-fi page, where we have 3 tiers, just $1 a month, $2 a month, or $3 a month, just to help us out, pay for the podcast stuff, if you're enjoying this. The nice thing is we got new things. We just dropped our latest sci-fi-ish episode. No, it's still sci-fi. It still counts as sci-fi.
Oh, Twilight Zone is definitely sci-fi.
I don't know. Some of it for me, I was like, well, is this sci-fi or is this horror?
No, it's sci-fi. It's sci-fi.
It was fun. It was fun, everybody. If you want to hear that, if you pay the $2 tier, you get the podcast, the audio podcast. If you want to see us talk on video, that's at the $3 tier. The $1 tier gets you access to our Discord server, and we're just having a great time doing all this new stuff just to connect with everybody. We're having a great time. If you want to contact us, the best way to do so is by our email. show@twogeeksmike.com. show@twogeeksmike.com is where you can email us, but that's also on our website, twogeeksmike.com. And we also have our merch page you can check out too as well. And we've just got some cool new stuff. What else? Am I missing anything else?
Discord. Oh,
I briefly talked about it, but yes, I did. Yes. Oh, good to know you're listening to me. I'm just kidding. I'm doing the stuff at the end. I hear you. That's all good. That's all good.
That's your job.
That is my job, by golly. Hey, thanks everybody for joining us. Mike, I'm going to leave it to you to sign us out, my friend.
Oh man, I don't have a great tagline other than it's a lawyer show. It's a lawyer show.
That's
SheHulk smash. Over and out. Thank you for joining us today on the Two Geeks and a Microphone podcast. Tune in next week when we will have more news and reviews. Until then,